What is happening, everyone? I hope you're all well, and welcome on back to Mass Effect 2. So this episode, we are going to do Jacob's Loyalty Quest, the Gift of Greatness, but before we head there, I figured we'd go talk to Miranda. We've done a mission since her loyalty, so we should have some wrap-up dialogue.
Commander, what can I do for you?
Let's see.
You have a minute, Miranda?
Of course. I'd been meaning to speak with you, in fact.
Let's see if she learned her lesson from Cerberus after we've done Jack's loyalty.
I wanted to apologize. I didn't fully believe you'd be up to the task, and it seems I was wrong.
I got that impression when
Frankly,
we first met.
Based on what I've seen, I wish Cerberus had recruited you earlier.
Maybe it's the fact that it's not Cerberus, that it's me that's making the difference, right? I know we already mentioned to her that that's because I'm running the operation, not Cerberus, when she mentioned something similar, but it seems like she's still wholeheartedly a Cerberus troop, salute and all. Let's see if we can break the mold a little with her.
I trust you, but I don't trust Cerberus. Your experiments crossed the line.
All the time, yes. But I recall a Spectre who crossed a few lines while hunting down Saren and the Geth. And we'd be lucky to have you. Too many join us out of simple xenophobia. We need more people here for the right reasons.
Okay. I mean, that's a fair point that she makes about all the things we did with Saren, but we weren't doing terrorist ops with Rachni. We weren't unleashing husks on human colonies to see what would happen, right? We weren't messing with Thorian mind control to make shock troops. We didn't do any of that stuff to get Saren. We broke some rules and we ended up nuking a planet in the Traverse and things like that. But it's not the same thing. It's a cute comparison, but that's not what happened.
What was Cerberus trying to prove by experimenting on children like Jack?
A mistake, no question. Not mine. And one that was corrected once we discovered the extent of the experiments being performed.
Keep in mind, she said once they saw the extent of the experiments being performed, not once they realized the Tilton facility existed. That was all set up and funded by Cerberus. They just weren't aware that they were going as far as they did. But they still did it. They still funded them, they still set it up, they still told them to go get human children to try and shape good biotics. They still did what they did.
I saw your bases years ago. You were using Rachni, Thorian creepers, even husks to make your own army.
The husks were already dead, the Thorian creatures were mindless, and the Rachni were abandoned once we understood their intelligence. We weren't breeding an army, we were breeding expendable shock troops for high-risk scenarios.
Too bad about the people that died in the crossfire before you realized, huh?
Attack on Eden Prime. How many would have lived if we'd had just a dozen Rachni soldiers on our side?
I mean, it makes sense for what I know about Cerberus, but like, it's just too bad, huh? The husks are already dead, but the colonists they were wiped out weren't already dead. And same with the Thorians and the Rachni. It's just too bad on that front, I guess. The unapologetic nature of Cerberus with the things that they do, even when they get it wrong. Even as they're admitting they got it wrong, they still just don't care about the consequences. And Miranda is seeming, unfortunately, more on board with Cerberus still than I would have liked.
With your intelligence, you could have landed any job you wanted. Why choose this?
Because I still envy the time Morden spent with the Special Tasks Group, working with people as smart as he was. Cerberus never tells me that something is impossible. They give me my resources and say do it. And they've given you even more. A new life, a new ship, the Illusive man's personal attention.
I wonder if she sees the Illusive man kind of like a father figure. You know, since she didn't really have one, and her dad kind of left her high and dry, no support, no praise. I wonder if she kind of filled those boots with the Illusive man. That probably has a lot to do with why she's so loyal, actually. It's, well, for lack of a better term, it's daddy issues.
The best thing he did was to put you on my squad.
You'd have done fine without me. I may not have believed it before, but I don't have what you do. That fire that makes someone willing to follow you into hell itself.
You ran the Lazarus project, alright. Granted, Wilson turned co, but...
My father got me the best jeans money could buy. Guess it wasn't enough.
She's bringing that up again. I think she's doing pretty good as a leader, right? She did fine to set everything up before we got here.
You always bring up your genetic tailoring. It really bothers you, doesn't it?
This is what I am, Shepard. I can't hide it. The intelligence, the looks, even the biotics. He paid for all of that. Every one of your accomplishments is due to your skill. The only things I can take credit for are my mistakes.
That's not true. Even with all that intelligence, it's on her how she uses it, right? thing that she did for her sister, that's on her. Daddy didn't pay for that. Maybe once we take care of the collector issue, she'll see that all differently. And if you are wanting to romance Miranda, by the way, you would pick this top option. We're not, because we're loyal. We're with Liara, so we're going to go with this option. But you could totally flirt with her here, say that she's hard to compliment, and you can get things going with Miranda if you pick this one.
That's a tough feeling to live with. Maybe after we save the galaxy, you'll change your mind.
Hopefully.
We can hope. Thanks for coming by, Shepard. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you see the cold comfort we provided. She kind of switched back from being vulnerable to, okay, I see how it is. She's wanting something more there, and then when she didn't get it, she kind of flipped back a little. But still, we're making holes, chinks in the armor, right? Maybe we've done enough over these conversations to convince her that Cerberus might actually be in the wrong. We'll get more on that as the game progresses, of course. But for now, I think maybe we made a dent, which is what's important. That she's starting to see the light, so to speak. So where is Jacob? Where is Help Jacob? Help Tali. Help Zaid. There it is. It's all the way up here in the Rosetta Nebula. Couldn't spot it there for a second. This loyalty mission is actually quite interesting too. There's a lot of morality that comes into this one, which one of the main reasons I love RPGs, man, is they throw so many moral quandaries and situations and decisions at you that you really get to dive into your own sense of morality, right? I feel like if you play an RPG like this, and some people maybe think it's not deep as all that, and maybe you don't like when I go on my tangents because of that, but you can learn stuff about yourself when you play these games, right? The characters you agree with, the characters you disagree with, how you feel about the situations. I feel like all that stuff is what makes RPGs so interesting. You see here, we're still doing fine on materials. I am going to go ahead and burn this planet out real fast before we land, and then I'll go ahead and read the planetary description for you guys too. It's rich, so we want to steal all the minerals while we're here. I pretty much exclusively scan rich planets, which I think I talked about before. I'm mainly here looking for Element 0, now that I know it's here, since that was the first one we picked. So I'm just going to scan quickly and look for some EZO. Unless we find a massive deposit. There's my EZO somewhere around here. Damn it, I lost it. I lost the EZO node. There it is. We'll take that because EZO is included. We're definitely not wanting for platinum, but it has EZO, so I'll take... There it is.
Probe away.
Yeah, I love the moral situations and quandaries and questions. If you allow yourself to like get some personal reflection going when you play these games, it's actually really cool. Especially for me, at least, when I play these games, I try and make the decisions that I would make rather than the decisions that my character would make. At least my first playthrough in every game is essentially playing as myself, and then I'll get into RP playing like evil, etc, etc. It's a little harder to do in Mass Effect 2 because you're stuck inside the morality boundaries that they've set up, but it's still cool, even to think about if you pick a different option. Alright, anyway, so this is Aya. Named after an Asari scientist, this remote planet appears to have been on the list of forbidden mass relays that led to uncharted space. The little data available from one far-off probe flyby that reports 2 planets orbiting a white dwarf star. Your own scans yield more interesting results. The planet is within the habitable zone of the star. It has oceans of liquid water and a thin nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere, consistent with carbon-based plant life. It is possible this is an as-yet unexplored garden world. The orbital distance is 4.5, sorry. The orbital period is 7.3 Earth years, so 1 year is 7.3 here. And then the day length is 31 hours. We're obviously going to be taking Jacob since it's his loyalty, and I think we'll grab Miranda. What does your cyclable appearances look like? Looks like less trashy. We'll take the less trashy option. We'll bring Miranda out here. Speaking of trashy, no offense, Miranda. I guess I'll just save those points. We don't need to invest. When it comes to what I'm going to do with Miranda, I guess we'll save until we can max out warp to make sure that's good, and then there's no reason not to just continue down that line. Jacob, we haven't been with you for a while, huh? Okay, so health and weapon damage. Let's make you more survivable. and then we'll fully upgrade your pull. I don't use Jacob much. His stuff doesn't really complement any of the builds that I ever do, but he's a good character. He's strong enough. He kind of does what Samara does with the pull, but he doesn't have throw, so... I think Samara might be the only one that has throw in this whole game, actually. I think she's the only one. Which is crazy, considering literally every biotic companion ever in Mass Effect 1 all has throw, and it's like a staple of biotics. You only get one character here that can even do that.
I have run a scan of the ship. I detect no life signs, but there may be useful technology or information still inside.
Get our whole squad up on the game here with the warp ammo. We got any goodies hidden around here? Yeah, this one has its own moral quandary here too. Anybody watching this, I'd like you to ask yourself, if you were in the position of the characters that are actually on this ship, not just Shepard, what you would do and how you feel about this.
It's been years.
Because I know how I feel about it. Hugo Gernsback.
Looks like it was stripped after the crash. They'd have tried to get a beacon up as soon as possible.
Clearly didn't work out. That as soon as possible part might be a little off the...
Along with this anymore. We've done horrible things to the crew. The conditions they're in, they don't understand what we're doing to them. Distract them for 2 seconds and they forget what you did before the bruises show. It's got to stop. I'm talking to the others as soon as...
What they do before the bruises show. That's already a little hint here, and he was talking about how the crew doesn't even understand where they are really, and they've done horrible things to them, so we're already getting hints on what we're gonna be unveiling here. Doctor's log should be interesting.
What was her name? Sarah? Suzanne? My God, I can't remember. I can't remember her face. We need to get out. So I can remember. Can think straight. They have to hurry.
Losing her memories of her daughter or partner, significant other. And the way he said innocent there was very fucking creepy, and clearly that dude was creeping on whoever he's talking about before they landed here, right? He's talking about how she almost reported him for harassment. He didn't stop sending the emails and shit like that. So we got 2 blue on top. Seems like that guy was getting his Weinstein on. So it's already uncomfortable here, right? It's already very creepy and uncomfortable.
After a crash, you can't expect the luxury of due process, but this isn't a military ship. Just bumping the command line up a notch doesn't work. Captain Fairchild knew this crew. His replacement doesn't command the same level of respect. I'm hoping the man has it in him, but I don't.
So the captain either died in the crash or died after they landed here, from whatever. And then somebody else was promoted who, according to that log, just didn't understand the assessment, or the assignment, rather. It is a pretty planet. I can totally see why the write-up there of our own scans said this place should be inhabited. Looks pretty.
Repeat, toxology alert. Danger of rapid neural decay. Local flora chemically incompatible with human physiology.
Perhaps not.
Beacon resumed. Pause time, 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours.
The beacon paused for 8 years.
From the look of it, this beacon's been here a while. Why would they wait years to signal?
Pause in beacon protocol. 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours. Pause is recorded as record deleted by acting captain Ronald Taylor.
That's not right. My father was first officer.
Ronald Taylor
Record
was promoted
deleted,
under
huh?
emergency command protocols. Other flagged issues: unsafe deceleration, local food and neural decay, beacon activation protocols.
Who's in command of this ship? Where are the survivors?
Captain Harris Fairchild reported killed following unscheduled suborbital
Okay, so he
descent.
died in the crash.
First Officer Ronald Taylor promoted in field to acting captain.
But where is he now?
The location of the remaining crew of the Hugo Gernsback is unknown. This beacon has been unattended for several maintenance cycles.
I assume unsafe deceleration refers to the crash. Give me the details.
Following an unspecified impact and sublight drive failure, the Hugo Gernsback made an unscheduled descent at 465% of theoretical recommended suborbital velocity.
465%, Jesus.
Then decelerated at 782% of theoretical recommended approach velocity, sustaining significant damage to investment and crew.
The 782% deceleration, I assume, would be when it hit the ground like a dart.
Local food impairs brain functions? What are the effects?
Impairment of mental function due to chemical imbalance begins within 7 days of ingesting local flora, regardless of decontamination or preparation. Impact on higher cognitive abilities and long-term memory is cumulative, but significant within a standard month. It is not known if neural decay is permanent. Data collection was not completed.
So I imagine they ran out of rations here eventually, and then they all just started losing their minds because they had to eat the food to live.
Why wasn't the beacon activated before now?
And based on how the military and rank works, I assume the food chain got the food. Captain, first officer, security. Sure that was all rationed up.
days, 7 hours on the authority of Acting Captain Ronald Taylor. Pause in beacon protocol is recorded as record deleted.
So he smoked the evidence of wherever he paused the beacon.
Working beacon, but didn't signal for almost 9 years. Maybe that neural decay affected him.
Avoiding it for a decade seems unlikely.
Yes, it does. And why would it randomly activate now? Who did that? Clearly wasn't the captain, right? If we're gonna go with the fact that he had neural decay, then it clearly wasn't him that turned the beacon on. He wouldn't know how it works.
You came from the sky? The leader said someone would come. He delayed for so long, but he still has power. Some have lost faith. The hunters. They will have seen your star. They will not let you help him.
What are you talking about? You're not making sense.
The hunters?
I don't remember how to say it. He's our leader and we serve so we can go home. But some want to fight him. They were cast out. He exiled them, so they hunt his machines and those who help him. They don't believe that rescue will come.
Yeah, you need to get out of the way.
Won't stop until the leader is dead.
Kill them!
Poor girl.
Agents of the liar! He will not escape!
Well, these guys seem to... They're not exactly smart for wanting to smoke with us, but they seem to have more capacity than her. I guess they've been on the food less time. Jesus, a lot of these guys. Stop moving up on this a little.
That wasn't neural decay. They were feral.
My father wouldn't let this go on. Something is...
Yeah, you would like to think that he wouldn't let this go on, but clearly he did. Do you have anything else to say?
You killed them, but there are more every day. They want to fight, but I just want to go home.
She's lost it. We need to find someone who can make sense of this.
Yeah, poor girl. She's pretty too. That's probably the one that creepy guy was creeping on. Let's keep going forward here. Unfortunately, it looks like we're gonna have to smoke some of the crew. They had mechs.
Strip for parts. Tech's wearing out. Those hunters must be laying on the pressure.
Jacob, let's get you on a pistol.
Change weapons!
Get you running a little more range than you currently have. You're not being aggressive enough to be barrel stuffing with shotguns.
Is that a settlement? They'd better be friendlier than the beach group. I need answers.
Looks like they're worshipping something here too.
clearly docile, but in the same uniform remnants as those who attacked us.
Yeah, except they're all women.
There aren't any men here. Maybe it affects genders differently. Makes males get violent?
Possibly. But the woman on the beach said the exiled ones came back as hunters.
It doesn't matter right now. One of these people must know what my father has to do with this.
You have his face. He promised to call the sky, but he sends nothing.
He forced us to eat, to decay. You are cursed with his face.
He forced you to eat?
Not the best reaction to the family resemblance, Jacob.
Yeah, no shit.
Why would my father force his crew to eat toxic food? Whatever's happening here needs to stop.
Would agree with that.
Look at these spoiled food stores. They've been eating only that toxic local food for who knows how long. Like that wasn't obvious enough.
He has a cruel face. His cruel face.
Go away. You are like him. You will keep us here.
I can't talk to you. I don't want punishing.
You don't want to be punished? So they would be punished for talking to people outside the camp or other men, I would assume.
What the hell? Somebody had to push them to make that. That's borderline worship.
Does seem like they wouldn't do it on their own, right? If they don't understand how things work or remember how things work, they wouldn't be able to construct that.
He keeps us, protects us, and we please him like he demands.
Okay, so we're starting to get a picture here. They please him.
He is bad.
It's starting to be real obvious why the females are separated out here.
You'll hurt me.
Apologies about that, I had a phone call.
The hunters will kill you. They fight because he exiled them and waited too long.
Yeah, we're already getting a picture here. Female camp separated from all the males. The other males got outlawed, and now whoever's in charge here protects them, and in order to continue receiving protection, they have to please him. It's getting pretty apparent. Okay, now that we saw the save.
Like that are a little much against this bunch.
Well, that would make them hate him. But maybe it was just for defense.
We know we're done since it's saved. Got another survivor here. Let's see if this one has a little more cognition.
Please. Here. You could end it.
Here's the doctor. We heard her little journal speech on the Gernsback wreckage, right? She couldn't remember her daughter's name.
You have his face. But you fight his machines. You might stop this.
It's a general idea.
I forget how to read. But this was the start. What he promised, and what they did to us. We need the sky. Take us back to the sky.
So she's a doctor. She's super intelligent, and she can't even remember how to read at this point.
Jacob, what does it say?
It's a crew logbook. Some of them thought the beacon repair was taking too long. They were afraid they'd run out of supplies and lose their minds to the decay. My father restricted the ship food for himself and the other officers so they wouldn't be affected. Everybody else had to eat the toxic food and hope for treatment later. The rest is a casualty list. A few mutinied over the decision. My father and his officers turned the mechs on them.
Yeah, I figured the food would be rationed up. That's the right play. Rationing the food to the officers and the people who can fix the beacon to get them off-world is the right decision. But postponing for 8 years and then turning the mechs on your own people, however, is definitely not. It seems like he knew what to do, but found himself caught in a little harem fantasy here and then decided he didn't want to leave. Maybe he finally ran out of food and that's the reason why he called.
He wasn't command material and it got to him. Couldn't keep the crew in line without violence.
It didn't stop there. More incidents, harsh punishments. It's like they're cattle or toys. In a year, all the male crew members are flagged as exiled or dead.
Of course.
They separated out the women, assigned them to officers, like pets. And after the beacon is fixed, the officers appear in the casualties too. After. My father took control and didn't stop it.
Well, that basically confirms what I just said as my initial thought here. He found himself in a fantasy and decided he liked it a little too much to leave. I guess the other officers had enough after the year when the beacon was fixed. They wanted to peace out. Or maybe he just didn't want to leave because he didn't want to be court-martialed or imprisoned for all the shit he did here. Decided to just stay here instead.
Anything in there about whether the effects of the toxic food can be treated?
Nothing. But it seems like the right call. If everyone gets it, who's left to fix the beacon? You'd never get out. But they did fix it. And the signal wasn't sent until now. I'm starting to see why.
Yeah, me too. And like he just said and I said before him, it is the right call to ration it off at first.
Does it say why he separated the men and the women? Or is it as bad as it seems?
No, it turns to gibberish. Maybe the men got violent early on, but from the state of this place, I'd say the Hunter thing is recent. What he allowed here, Shepard, I don't see any justification.
And if the Hunter thing here is recent, then that's probably why he called, right? He doesn't want to die. The coward.
We haven't seen any other officers. He killed them?
There were 5 after the crash. Medical, engineering, bridge staff. Should have had no problem fixing the beacon and keeping people safe. All killed within the same week. About a month after the beacon was repaired.
And so he lasted a month, and then I imagine they probably wanted to leave. He didn't want that.
Do you see an explanation for this? He's your father.
Is he? None of this fits. Maybe the initial decision, but the rest? Abuse of power doesn't get any clearer than this. I need to find this man.
You know, we need to find this man. I got some words too. Okay, it's my 2-prong. It's my C. Alright, everybody. Back it up.
Understood.
Positioning!
Right there. Understood.
Right!
Right behind you.
Ronald Taylor, thank God you're here. My crew went insane. I only just got free.
Only just got free.
God damn it. It's really him. Just got free. He's covering his ass.
Sure would seem like it.
The old corpse has been posed, like a warning. The new ones were left where they fell.
The hunters started fighting back.
Yeah, it seems like these 5 have been here for a very long time. It's the mechs, right? Brought the mechs.
Mech activity.
Try and shut that shit down. Didn't work, so he called for help. That's how it looks. I guess since he's still alive currently, we're gonna meet the man and give him a chance to explain, but I don't think I'll be satisfied with whatever he says. After the crew turned violent, he says.
He had plenty of choices. Too late to blame the victims.
He's already trying to spin his tail. Ordinarily, I'd be trying to vouch for some kind of benefit of the doubt, but there's pretty hard evidence in the journal logs. Him trying to spread his little bullshit story already is not exactly a good look, right? Not much in the way of accountability going on so far. Here's that heavy pistol damage. My team take care of the mechs for a second while I look around.
Mech activity.
I thought he died. Still not done with that, huh? There we go. That's the end of the mechs.
I had to keep them busy, distracted, but it's getting dangerous. Thank God you've come.
Yeah, getting dangerous. That's the real reason.
And now he wants out.
I'm in agreement with Jacob here. Yeah, so the moral quandaries I was talking about is put yourself in this position. I would like to think, and I'm pretty sure, that I would never do this kind of thing, right? There's no way I would abandon my crew here and start executing people, divvying them out like pets. There's just no way. But maybe there's something there about how you kind of have to be an asshole and somewhat ruthless to be a leader. I guess it's pretty easy when you have ultimate power to make the wrong choice. took years to train my guards.
Throwing people away. This thing is not my father.
And he's also exposing himself to, if he just got free, then how did he train his guards for years, right?
Incoming.
I would like to think there's not even a small percentage of a chance that I would do something like he did. But part of knowing if you would or wouldn't is understanding the perspective, right? For him, probably middle management, right? He's never had a whole lot of power. He's just been sitting, doing his 9 to 5s, shit pay. All of a sudden he gets stranded on an island and has an opportunity to be treated like a kingpin. This big thing is going to be a problem, so... Okay, we got his shields done. Oh boy.
Taking the heavy lift.
Got a line. I've got him.
Clear the
Got
blast
it.
zone.
Enough with the toys. I need to look my father in the eye and hear him justify this.
Yeah, I firmly believe in my heart of hearts there's a 0% chance I'd ever end up in a situation like this. But you can see how it happens, right? I think that's the reason why the whole middle management always was like a pushover, and then he got thrust into this position. I think that's why there's so many scandals that you hear with like directors or streamers are a great example of this stuff, right? Like how many live streamers do you know that have like assault, abuse, harassment scandals, or they just turn out to be like the slimiest people ever with constant scandals and drama and accusations and broken laws and stuff like that? I think it's because if you're the certain kind of person that's never had power and wasn't meant to be in power, like you don't have the temperament for it, like Shepard said, you've been shit on most of your life, middle management, never had much luck with women, all that stuff, and then you get thrust into a position where all of a sudden you can do whatever you want, have whatever you want, you have all this access and this power, you just abuse it to get what you never had in the first place. It's like a tale all this time that just repeats itself over and over again. Here's the man. Supposed to be a throne. Some books, some generators. Has a little kitchen set up here. Mess hall for him and the officers, no doubt. He has his big bed. Keep in mind that everybody else sleeping on rocks in the ground, by the way.
You're here. I knew a real squad would blow through just fine. Sorry if the mech scuffed your pads. I'll get you something nice when we get back to Alliance space. I've got to have some back pay coming.
What about your crew, acting captain?
Total loss. The toxic food turned them wild. They propped me up here in some kind of ritual behavior. Waiting for a chance to signal has been hell.
That's the best you can do?
You let all your people talk back like that? Who are you exactly?
Well, you think I'm gonna defend you here?
Commander Shepard of the Normandy. I believe you're acquainted with Mr. Taylor.
Taylor? Jacob? No. Not Jacob.
At least there's some capacity to feel shame in there.
This look better to anyone else in the galaxy?
You have to understand, this isn't me. The realities of command, they change you. I wasn't ready for that. I made sure you were taught right. Before I left, I hoped to leave it at that.
Nice. So he just thought he did his job raising him for a brief amount of time, and then he just moved on so he could continue disappointing himself without disappointing anybody else. Scumbag.
I'm not unreasonable, Captain, but 10 years? What happened?
God damn it! Why did you do this to your crew?
There was resistance to the plan. Mutiny. We had to take a hard line to keep order. And things settled down. As the decay set in, we made sure the crew were comfortable. Some even seemed happier. Ignorance is bliss, right? And they were grateful for guidance, like an instinct. Pure authority was easy, at first. Months in, The Effect Lord inhibitions. They got territorial. Rank, protocol, they couldn't understand. We had to establish dominance. After a while, the perks seemed normal.
That's it? You created a harem and played king? 10 years in a juvenile fantasy?
I can't point to where it all went wrong. But when the beacon was ready, revealing what happened didn't seem like a good idea.
Because you had your own little, your little pets to take care of, right? He had all these women on his beck and call. That's why he killed the other officers, because he just didn't want to reveal that he failed so much and reveal what he'd been doing to these people. The only reason he twisted now is because his ass was going to get murdered.
What happened to the other officers?
Anders found his conscience a little late to step back. He had an accident. Things got tense. End of the day, I was the one with the mechs. I got a little basic in setting examples. But I was kind to my people once things settled down.
He had an accident,
like I'd earned some peace.
You fought over people like they were toys. Things.
The stores from the ship couldn't last forever. You had to know this would end one day.
Dining for one can really stretch things out. Besides, I can think of a lot worse retirement plans than stripping down and joining the droolers. That was before the hunters, of course. Dumb or not, I'd feel it if they got their hands on me now. They want blood. I'd prefer to keep it.
It's all about you. Everything.
Correct. He played God here on this planet, and still clearly thinks he's in a position to do so.
You didn't feel any responsibility to get out of here for the sake of family?
I gave him a good start. He was a smart kid and was better off not following me. We figured that out a long time before I took jobs in deep space. And after things escalated here, it seemed best to just disappear off the galactic map.
Till you needed someone to save your ass.
He says things escalated here like he had no control over this and it just happened that way. He's the one that pointed everything to lead to the way that it did. He made all the decisions that led to this. It didn't just escalate. He took specific decisions and points in the timeline to make it this.
What triggered the males to change and threaten you?
This planet has some strange cycles to it. I've seen some plants around I never saw before. Odd weather. Maybe some just adapted a little too well.
And if you treat them like animals, big shock. They become animals.
Well, we're not gonna be pulling your ass out of the fire. You're gonna answer for this. There's plenty of things we could do here. We can leave him for the hunters. We can say that it's okay, we'll undo the damage, but I don't like this guy enough to be nice about it, so he's gonna answer for this.
There's no way I'm letting this slide, Taylor. A price will be paid.
How much? What kind of math can balance these lives? His life isn't worth pulling the damn trigger. I don't know who you are, because you're not any father I remember.
So, shooting him is one way to go here. Leaving him in the hell he made is the main one that's just desserts, right? But, again, we need the Paragon points here because there's one more important morality check to pass. And honestly, if I had already done the check at this point, I would probably leave him in the hellhole he made and let him rot here. That's what I would do. But we need the Paragon points. So he got to play King here for a little while. Now he's gonna get to go play Prison Bitch for a little while. But what I would actually do here is I would just abandon him on this planet. I'd just leave him here.
We'll secure him for an Alliance court. For every year here, he'll have 10 to think about it.
Give him all the time in the galaxy. The man who did this doesn't know right from wrong.
I'm sorry, Jacob. I did the best I could.
No, you didn't.
I'm 10 years past believing that.
He did the worst he could, and he did it intentionally. Yeah, what I would really do there is I think I would leave him to rot on the planet, right? Let him starve to death or let him take care of himself after we leave. Leave him a loaded gun. See if he's got the balls to atone himself. Survivors from Aya are being treated by Alliance personnel with additional Cerberus support. Pleased to see Taylor unharmed psychologically by experience. Jacob Taylor has dealt with his father and is now focused solely on the mission. He got his new power, which is the barrier. He's got his new outfit, which is all black to match Miranda's, and we got 30k credits for that, so money all around.
Alliance ships are inbound to secure Captain Taylor and his crew, Commander. We'll be long gone by the time they get here.
Don't even give him the taillights.
Roger that.
What do you mean it wasn't you?
Jacob, if I had leaked the information about the Gernsback, I would be smiling at your resolution of the situation. I am not smiling.
Nothing goes through this ship, my ship, without a report to you.
I had no more reason to believe Jacob's father was alive than he did, but I'm happy to know the situation is behind you.
Fine, you didn't forward it, so who did?
I did.
The obvious insider, sure, because she would have access to everything, but it is kind of... he looks pissed.
Figures. Who else could get into Cerberus channels?
It was hardly classified, just obscure. There was a time when it mattered to you. Sending this along seemed like keeping an old promise. I keep my promises.
Miranda, we'll discuss your liberal interpretation of security protocol in private. Shepard, Jacob?
Yeah, he's pissed. Old promise, huh? Seems like there might have been something between these two at one point.
You good with this, Jacob?
It's all bull, Shepard. Captain Taylor can rot in prison. Doesn't change who I am or what I know. I've already mourned the man he used to be. I guess he was a good enough father that even he can't screw up what he taught me.
Not good enough to ditch you and leave for jobs in deep space and just die on his little harem fantasy planet.
You had no idea Miranda was behind this?
No, she's got a good memory. Selective, but good. I haven't thought about those days in a long time. Can't figure which promise she meant, though. Not sure I really want to know. She requires a better man than I.
Yeah, so they used to date, or at least they almost did.
Come on, we've got work to do.
Aye, Commander. Shepard, thanks for the help.
Of course, man.
Anytime, Jacob.
Like I said, I like Jacob. Since Jump, he's been the Cerberus operative that I appreciated the most, right? He's been the most realistic with us, the most honest with us. He has the closest aligned opinion of Cerberus to me outside of all the strictly Cerberus crew members, so he's always been aces as far as I'm concerned. So I have no problem helping with that. Doing pretty good on our upgrades at this point now, too. And monetarily, we have 126k credits. I probably won't go back and splurge on a bunch of stuff yet. I'll probably hold that, give it a second, do it right before the end probably, just so I can decide what I'm going to do with things like that. Decide which upgrades I want to make based on how much money we have at the end, because I do still want to hit that cap for Mass Effect 3's import. Oh, so we got something from Cerberus Intel here. Commander Shepard, contacting you per the Illusive man's instructions. He believed you'd want to know that he had ordered Subject Zero's project shut down before the riot broke out. Cerberus personnel arrived to find all guards dead, along with most of the subjects. Any surviving children were treated for injuries, given mild amnesic treatments, and delivered to Alliance facilities as survivors of Slayer attacks. A few surviving Doxers were forcibly retired for their role in the project. Per your report, the facility on Pragia has been destroyed. And you remember when I said, in the Cerberus documents, it said that all those scientists had died either in the riots or after the facility was closed? Well, I'm guessing forcibly retired would be with a hollow point from a Cerberus operative. And this kind of proves that too. And it's cute that the Illusive man told them to send this to us to try and like smooth this over with us. But I don't buy this crap. I think he knew the whole time about what was going on in the Telton facility. It just became inconvenient, right? And even if he didn't directly tell them to do what they did, he still funded it and supported it, and I'm sure he knew with how controlling and how linked into everything he is. There's no way he didn't know that. He was probably just waiting with a keen eye to see if it got results. And we'll get some more evidence of him being like that later in this game, but for now, that is a pretty good spot to wrap this one on up. So thank you for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, you know what to do. Check out those links in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned, and I'll see you soon with more Mass Effect 2. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Peace.